with multitasking, you've brought it up a couple times already, but wasn't there a section in the book that there's no such thing as multitasking? And if so, what's the context of how you're using it?
As human beings, we can multitask.
Okay.
But in order to multitask, say you have two tasks. If one of them is pretty repetitive, pretty ingrained, and the other is cognitive, meaning it takes some of your brain to work on, you can do that. You can drive and talk to someone or listen to a podcast or whatever, because driving is a pretty much of an automatic kind of thing. I mean, we feel like we've just kind of gone into some world where our brain is driving and we're not worried about it. What the problem is that people these days try to multitask to cognitive tasks. And I always tell people to understand this, go watch CNN for a while. And first, stare at the scroll on the bottom and read it to yourself and try to hear anything that you can hear from what the host is saying. Now turn it around and listen to the host, look at the host, but now put your gaze down to the words, but listen to the host. We can't do both. It's impossible to do both. We live in a world where there's lots of cognitive tasks. And God love us, we have taken this thing, this phone, and we have allowed it to interrupt us at will. We've allowed it to ding when we have a text message. We've allowed it to make all sorts of sounds, to vibrate, to do this, and to notify us. And that's making us multitask. Say I'm talking to you, and I'm not multitasking now. I'm just listening to you, and I'm talking to you. All of a sudden, my phone beeps. What happens to me? Physiologically, what happens is if you do a skin conductance test, your galvanic skin response, the sweat in your hands, in your fingers and your pits, whatever, registers. And what happens is you'll be doing this task and you go along and all of a sudden your phone beeps and you go like this. You'll spike, what's called a GSR spike, which means that you're aroused. What is that arousal? Well, it's a blast of chemicals in your brain that says, wait a minute, I got to see what I just got notified about. I got to do it. And it makes you look to your phone and pick it up and do it. It makes you multitask.